So, hello, everyone, and thank you for coming. It says I'm live. Let's see what is going on. I think, I think, I think you guys can see me and hear me. If you can see me and hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Okay. Um, Maybe I can see you on here. Captions, design. I'll give it a minute to see if anybody comes in. It says, oh, there you guys are. Yay! Dun, 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 dun. Mike's Chaotic Gardening. Thanks for coming and welcome. Unbiased LLC. What did I say? I saw a posting this morning. I'll talk about that. Mike's Chaotic Gardening. Joanne Stevens says hello to all in the chat. Donzel Cooper says hello. Shantae says hello. Thank you guys for coming and welcome. Boy, I was busy today. I'm actually perspiring. We did a little shopping today. No Hershey. You heard me say Auntie Joanne, and you want to come up and say hello. Your face is a mess and everything. Your hair needs to be combed. So Mr. Hershey's saying hi, everybody. Hi, Auntie Joanne. He knows Joanne Stevens. That his chief walker when we're in Arizona. Okay, so it is warm here in Connecticut. I put my summer clothes back on, and I'm back watering the garden. And you guys, the leaves are so beautiful here. I don't know if you saw the post. Well, let me see if I can bring it up. Anyway, isn't this cute? This is what my garden looked like in other years when I have raised beds, but I'm not really using them. I'm using containers. Why? Because I don't have to bend over so far. Okay. No, I don't even want to do that anymore. So, I have my photos backed up 2 places in Google and in on the iCrack cloud. And sometimes I can get to some of the things, sometimes I can get to others, but they're saying what's new in photos. I don't care. I just want to talk to you guys. So let me see if I can get to the bottom of the chat. I want to thank each and every one of you for the thumbs up. Dolores was in here earlier and said hello. Oh, that's where that overlay thingy is. Okay. So I'm new to Restream and I'm figuring out Yankee Sister Homestead. Hola, amiga. Mil gracias. So, you guys, I have a mail haul. I have an unboxing. I have so much to tell you guys. I'm looking at you on here because it's different on Restream. And this is the time of year that, okay, so I don't want that anymore. They're telling me what's customizable, what's not. Wanted to show you. Whenever they do an update, you guys, everything is in a different place. Yankee sister, how are you feeling, my sister? I'm going to do an unboxing about about your gifts to me. And G Mama Grows, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Juanita, that must be Juanita Campbell. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I would like to say, I don't want to keep looking down. I want to look in you guys' face because I just want to. And I don't want to be distracted by too many things. I have so many things to tell you. I I'd like to I first of all, I appreciate each and every one of you because without you there would be no me. There would be no garden quilt and art show. And I just appreciate everything that you guys have done. Oh, this is how I get to the bottom. Auntie Joanne is saying, "Hi, Mr. Hershey." It's funny. I have a quilt. It's actually on the floor. I don't wear shoes in my apartment because I use my design carpet as part of my design walls. I have so many of them. Yankee Sister is saying, "Hola, Hershey." He's sitting down there with his back to me because I guess I'm not paying him any attention. Yankee Sister, everyone says they hope you are doing well. Hello, Mother. I know that you're probably there in the bushes because why do I have it on slow mode? So that I can keep up and I don't miss your comments, Donzel. And I can read the chat better. For those of you who don't know, I am vision impaired. I was a couple of years ago. I was legally blind. Still totally blind in one eye, and when I'm trying to look at other things and show them to you, I can't keep up. I can't keep up with multiple multiple cameras or all that stuff. And I'm almost 76 years old. That's why. And I try to be interactive, and I have so many things to tell you. Mother, your daughter Joanne Stevens is saying hello. Donzel Cooper is saying hello to Joanne. Mike's Chaotic Gardening is saying hello. So I would like to thank each and every one of you. That includes every way that you support the channel, including I appreciate you watching the ads. The ads is how I'm able to send the gifts out that I make to do other things. Shantae G says she's in the background watching with love. Thank you. Thank you. It's funny about what people see. I was in Walmart earlier today and I'm all the way on this cart, the handicap cart, driving and crashing around. And one of the guys that worked in the store came over to me and said, "Miss, I like your shoes." And I'm like, "No," he said, "I like your Crocs." And it was really funny because I had on some animal print Crocs that my daughter gave me. Then I think he said he wanted them for his wife. You know how that goes. Like, "Hey baby, what size do you wear? I want to buy this, la la la." Anyway, that's how that goes. I remember one Christmas when I was a teenager and I worked for Christmas at one of the finer stores in Stamford, Connecticut. And I worked in lingerie. I can't tell you, and I was young and fine to death, that I can't tell you how many men came up to me to tell me that they wanted to know what size I wore something or they wanted to get something for their wife. The same old corny story. "Hey baby, are you tired? You've been running through my mind all day," that kind of that kind of stuff. So, you guys, let me get started with all the stuff I have to tell you and show you. In back of me, these two, the background has changed a little bit because I finally selected the backing that will go. These two items will be gifted, one for Thanksgiving and one for Christmas as a giveaway. one, I said Thanksgiving, my birth anniversary, something like that. So this will be the front of this table runner, and this will be the back. This will be the front of one table runner, and this will be the back. Frugal Mama, thanks for coming and welcome. I saw your videos when you were talking about the legs, and of course, I see you in the background when I'm exercising in the morning. Yankee Sister is driving. Okay, sis. So, since Yankee Sister's in here right now, I want to show you my gift from her, my unboxing, because it really is in a box, a big box. So her garden is always bigger than mine, and she always does more than me. And look at this, you guys. Homemade marinara sauce with salt and with wine. And she just canned this and buys a beautiful table runners queen. Thank you. This is one of the ways, this is actually the same block with the fabrics placed in different areas, the darker values as opposed to the lighter values, and to show what happens when you do that. So here is the marinara sauce. Oh, and I want to show you something because you know when you can, I can myself. Hey, Bamit, Mr. Arthur, how are you doing? Thank you for coming and welcome. You guys are so funny. I woke up in the bushes and I always see your live. But I watch so many things on TV because of my vision, and I always give the thumbs up. I don't always get back right away to leave a comment, but this is chicken broth, canned chicken broth, and I'm glad that, and it's well sealed. I want to tell you guys because I was we were driving around today, and the boxes slipped, and the jars were all sideways. The tops did not come off. But one thing Yankee Sister and I talked about, and that was when you can, you take the rings off. You take the rings off so that if the seal comes open, you know it, and there's no possibility of getting poisoned. Whatever botulism, whatever they say. I guess you guys know that there are recalls for Hershey. Now, how did that get over there? I guess I had a landslide. You guys. Oops. I'm going to try to turn. I don't know if you can see a little bit over here, this area. This is a pile of neck bone pillows going out for Christmas, Hana Kwanzaa. I've been working on so many things. There are a bunch over there. But let me go back to the rings. I just happened to see one of the pillows fell, and Mr. Hershey over there looking at it. Yeah, a lot of my great granddaughter came. She liked this one and the camo, but she's getting one of the pink ones over there to match her quilt that she will get. So going back to Yankee Sister, she gives me the rings. Those of you who do the canning and give away gifts, the people who don't can or don't have enough lids, once they open it, there's no way to close the top back to put it in the refrigerator. So Yankee's sister is so sweet. She sends me extra rings. Barb Brownlee, thanks for coming and welcome. Wusa. I just realized I'm going 100 miles a minute. So she included extra rings. So this is another jar of homemade marinara sauce. Can you see how thick it is? How thick it is? And another marinara sauce with wine, canned by my hermana, Yankee sister. Usually California has all of the fires. We have a couple of fires that are burning in Connecticut, and the whole state is in emergency for fire. So, this is a jar of cowboy candy. Yum, yum, yum. I love spicy foods. I still have some pepper sauce the Yankee Sister can last year. I just keep adding extra vinegar and more peppers to it, and it just keeps fermenting. My sister hooked me up, and then she knows I have a lot of peppers. Mike's Chaotic Gardening, thanks to you. You got to get back to it. Thank you, Mr. Arthur. I saw you shelling all those peas and all that other stuff too. Thanks for coming by. I know what time it is for those of you who are other parts of the country. This is some cowboy candy brine. So I already have peppers chopped up. I already hot peppers. I already have peppers in my freezer because that was one of my main crops this year. I had earlier this year, I had a complete knee replacement. In February, I hear these two jars clicking together. Actually, it was the lids. So I was a little bit late getting my garden started. I have a community garden, and it's not close to the building I live in. So it took me a while to be able to navigate that long distance. And either you have to go down a steep flight of steps or go for a long walk. So it took me a while to do that. So, okay, what else do I want to show you? One of the subscribers sent me some mail with a beautiful card. I won't read it, but I just want you to know when you guys leave comments, Donzel, you're so good about that. Mike, all of you guys, Frugal Mama, Sissy Joanne Stevens, and you comment on the things that others have done on the channel. I really appreciate that. And I read every single one of them, every one of them. And I try to comment. Of course, I've already opened this, and it's sunflowers, Psalms 146, her favorite flower. Deborah Garrett, thanks for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. And this is a very sweet card. A very sweet card. So, and by the way, Mother, this Afghan, this rose and bloom crocheted Afghan, was made by my mom, and she gave it to me so that I could sell it for her. And I do have someone who's interested in it, Mother, and they will be getting it for Christmas. I will be sending it out. So, more mail haul. I try to have these open, but I didn't want to get everything mixed up. So, this one is a gift I won from Ellen Campbell's channel. If you guys are not familiar with her channel, she's a quilter, and she's a very spiritual lady. She prays and whatnot. So, what I won from her is a phone stand. I like these metal phone stands. This one is different than any of the ones I have. Maybe I could use it. I don't have Wi Fi in my garden. I'll figure it out. I don't want to break it. And it's black. It's hard for me to see black. You know, when you have visual impairments, when you're blind in one eye, your depth perception is off. Guava, Dave Busby, thank you for coming, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the gift, Ellen Campbell. I much, much, much appreciate it. You know, stop Hershey. It's the end of the season now, and the planting season, or the end of the summer season. So, some of you who go to public libraries, I want to remind you this is the library system here where I live. Auntie Joanne Stevens says all that canning looks delicious. It is. I still have I still have one jar of tomato marinara sauce from Yankee Sister from last year. I use it for special occasions. What I want to remind you is that most of you who live in larger towns, the libraries have seeds. There's a seed swap and exchange, and at the end of the year, they often try to get rid of all of them and will let you have as many as you want. I don't take advantage of that part because I my garden space is limited, not in size so much, because my community garden is 8 feet wide by 40 feet long. I have raised beds. I have lots of containers. It's well mulched. It's very pretty actually out there, but it's very shady. So I grow what I can grow there. I don't want to start over and start another garden, have to move all that stuff. So I'd use what I have, and it loves the peppers, and nobody takes my peppers either. Catherine's garden and home. Thank you for coming, Lady Catherine. I appreciate you. So now for my next unboxing. I love to cook, and starting in, I want to say January, because I'm not going to be skimping for the holidays, my birthday, my YouTube anniversary, Thanksgiving, or Christmas, or New Year's. So I downsized 6 years ago, and I moved to this handicapped apartment. And it's funny because I was in the shower today. You have to go to the TV, your laptop keeps buffering. Okay, thank you. Deborah Garrett, maybe it's just because I have it in slow mode. So that might be it. Plus, so many people are going to restream the new format that I'm using for going live, and I don't know. It's just little glitches. So, if you're new to the channel, and I would like people to be able to find you, those of you who are have been in the family. Why? Because good friends become family, and family is everything. Please put an exclamation mark GQUAT in the chat, and your channel will come up. It'll take a few seconds, and Dave Busby said Joanne Stevens, blue face smiling. So I have to be very careful with this one. This is a gift to myself, and I did not. I have 3 knives in this apartment because the family homestead that was sold, and when I downsized, was sold as is, and the purchaser wanted everything: knives, forks, everything, except some of my first personal things. I moved out, so I have a big meat cleaver that I use for almost everything. Scares everybody else who comes to help me or cook, but I love it. It's a big meat cleaver. And I have a butcher block that's a couple 100 years old. It's an authentic handmade butcher block that was made here in New England. It weighs over 100 pounds. It takes 2 men to move it. It's like 18 inches by 24 inches, and it's about 18 inches deep. It's heavy wood. So I like chopping on that, although I use a other chopping boards on top of it. But those 3 knives, I watch everybody else cooking. I watch the cooking channels with their fancy knives, and I love fancy knives. So I bought myself a chef's knife. A little bit disappointed in it though. I'm going to actually email them because I watch the channels, where the people I'm a little bit 2A, but I also watch the channels that I see how slow the chat is going. I I forgot what I was saying. I got distracted. But I bought myself a knife, and it's very, very sharp. It's a chef knife, and the chat is actually going slower than I wanted it to go. So this was an experiment, and I will speed it up a little for the next time. But the channels where they make the knife blades and they stick it in they're beating it. They take the steel and all the different layers and fold it over. Well, when I saw this knife on the channel on Amazon, it looked like it had all those fancy grooves in it. You can see it when I do it like this, but I thought it was going to be darker. It's got the little protection blade on it. Mike is looking at it. I'm not going to drop it on myself, on my foot. I've knocked scissors over on my foot. But this is the real deal. And I'm going to do a cooking series after the first of the year. And the cooking series will be how to live frugally. Why am I disappointed, Sissy? Because I thought that all those lines from all the different, this looks like it was stamped, like the design was stamped on it. I can't see all the different folds. Well, I guess you can see it, the different levels and folds. I just thought it would be darker. You like Victoria Knox knives? I have a knife that was handmade. One of our employees, my husband and I, when he was alive, the lady and her husband were master carpenters, but she was a pew pew dealer, but she also made handmade knives. And I have one that she gifted me with the leather, is it called scabbard? And thank you. Lady Catherine says, Faust, Hershey, knock it off. So I will be cooking with this and I will be making frugal meals. But the good thing about this one, I only paid $2 for it. Stop it, Mr. Hershey. Just a moment, you guys. So I paid $2 for it because I had enough points from things that accidentally fall in my cart on Amazon. I had enough points that I used my points. And even with the taxes, it only cost me $2. So for that, I'm not disappointed. I got a great knife for $2. So, excuse me 1 minute, you guys. Oh, and what else I wanted to tell you? I'll get the knife that the lady made, the custom knife. It's like you could dress a deer with this knife, and it fits right on your shoulder. It has a built-in, not on your shoulder, your hip, right on your belt. So G Mama grows hard in the garden. Says hello, Dave Busby, and everyone she missed. Mr. Hershey, come and knock it off. Come. He hears something in the hallway. They're putting carpet down in one of the apartments. Somebody, that's the one thing when you live in a condo that's multi-level or something, floods or things in other apartments can affect yours. And an apartment somewhere else, something happened and they have to replace the carpet. So the next thing I want to show you guys, I'm doing a challenge, and it is to make a legacy quilt. Why a legacy quilt? Because it has pieces. Thank you for sharing my channel. Lady Catherine says, you're welcome. Oh yes, Damascus is the term for the lines in the metal. That's right, Mike. And I love that. I love that. So I will be using it. Yes, carefully, Sissy. I will be using it carefully. But all my knives are sharp that are here. And I have several sharpeners. I keep a sharp knife. I remember growing up, I don't think we had a lot of butcher knives, but my mother always sharpened her knives whenever she cooked. Well, we cooked from scratch every single day, but she would always take this. We had a piece of like a grinding stone, and you could see where it was cut out of the wheel, and she still has that one. I'm almost 76 years old, and she's had it all my life. You watch a lot of the forged. Mike likes those competitions too. I love those. I love those. And when they throw the knives and they test them on things, what they cut through, I guarantee you this knife will cut through some stuff. I don't know if I'll keep it as sharp as it is, but it will be sharp. So a legacy quilt is what's left behind. I've been quilting for the past 25 years. The last, say, 9 or 10 years, because of my vision and different surgeries and things, like hip replacements and knee replacements, I wasn't able to sew for long periods of time. But I have strips of fabric that I saved from giveaway quilts. I remember one year before I moved back here, when I had my studio, I donated over 125 quilts of my own. You're trying to get to 3K soon before the year is ended. She says, Lady Catherine says, be careful with the knife. I will. I will be careful. And so I have these boxes of strips that I've been saving. Usually my ugly strips or the ones that not in the quilts that I really like, because the last 15 years exclusively I've been using mostly, I only buy boutiques and Afrocentric print quilts, meaning along with the leopard prints, cheetah, you name it, ocelot, snake. A lot of the things in this apartment are decorated with like animal prints or leather, like the sofa. But I want to show you a couple of blocks. So I'm making 30 blocks. The 30 blocks have, I wore something black so that you could see it. So this block is made of 4 blocks, and it had a couple of pieces of really cute fabric. You see those little lady faces? And these are just with strips. You can see all the strips from the back, and each block is individually sewn. No 2 blocks are alike, and I'm just setting them aside for now. Why? Because I'm going to wait till the end and put them together. I do have a real design wall. I use this for a temporary design wall. It's really my green screen. And the reason my green screen didn't work when I tried it a couple weeks ago is because you have to be still. And I see the strings on me. And you can't have anything behind it. So when I did my green screen, I had this stuff, so it did something wonky. Didn't work. So I think that was block 15 of 30. And here is block 16 of 30. But these fabrics are so ugly. They don't match anything. Mike, do you see those hot peppers on there? Sunflowers, all kinds of dorky things. It's going to be so cute. And I kind of made it so that it has a diamond in the middle. And when I put them together with the others, whether I put one, let me see, the two, the, these blocks are kind of diamond set, but differently. And those were speed blocks. These were individually sewn with a gazillion different pieces. What else have I been up to? This is like an update to show you what I've been doing because I tell, thank you, Sissy. She says, beautiful blocks. Barb Brownlee likes it. It's so ugly, it's beautiful. I want to show you a couple more things I've been working on, a couple of other things I've been working on. I will move my bell because I sent a package out today. But you see the sofa over there? All those pillows in the middle are going out. The two pink ones are for my two great granddaughters, and it will match their quilts that they're getting for Christmas. They're so tall they've outgrown the ones that we made when they were younger. So I'm making them new ones. I'm reading your comments. You guys are so funny. Oh, by the way, my Cash App has changed. It is $ GQUAT 1313. If anyone would like to contribute to the channel, because everything that you contribute goes really for making content. Like when I use my own fabrics when I make these gifts, it would actually be easier to do a Cash App for say $10, a gift card, whatever. But I take my time because I want you all to have something that's handmade, something that's made with love, and everybody doesn't have someone to make something for them. Donzel said, beautiful quilt behind me. Thank you. I want to I want to take a vote in a minute. I want to show you now. This is a real quilt. I will keep it. Excuse me. My asthma is acting up. It's so dry here. So this is, I will show it to you, but I have to put the binding on it and I don't want it to get all mushed up. So this is an Underground Railroad story quilt that I made. Excuse me. I made two exactly alike. One is made with African fabrics, African strip fabrics, and it's an original story quilt. You can see the pin from where I had it hung up before. And this is the bottom half of it. So it's back from the long armor. Oh, speaking of long armors, Mommy's quilt is back. For those of you who've been following the channel, I made my mother a denim quilt made with upcycled jeans from everywhere. My Renaissance grandma sent jeans. Big Rooster sent jeans. My granddaughter Sharita collected jeans from her work. So this one I took out the bold colors exactly. This one I'm especially going to keep for museums and whatnot and for exhibits, as well as the one that I'm making with the little strip quilts. Those are my real quilts. Miss Shirley, OG Gardner, thank you for coming and welcome. You received your little package. You're welcome. It was just a little something something. I don't even remember. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. You're very welcome. So when I quilt, I work on things. Oh, yay, Mike. And that the denim quilt, my mother's quilt, is 112 inches wide by 96 inches long, and it has batting in it, but very thin batting, and it has a really nice blue. So she lives about an hour from me, but my mother, I'm going to tell Mom, my mother is 93, and I wanted her to get it as soon as possible. I wasn't able to get it finished to the long armor in Tennessee and sent back here. And the long armor even called me because the thread that I originally requested that kept breaking, and through so many layers and the jeans, where the seams were. And so I agreed to use a neutral thread, which is what I usually use anyway. So it's in like a tan. So the tan will show through the blue jeans, and it's all different colors. I don't even have a picture of it because I was going to take it and put it on the lawn outside of my apartment building. Miss Shirley saying hello to everybody, and take a picture of both sides after it was quilted. So after she gets a chance to use it and put it on her bed, I'll pick it up before I go to the laundromat, and spin it out and show it. So I want you guys to see what yep, you can see my lap. So I I challenge you to do something for 15 minutes a day. This is a binding. No, this is not binding. These are pieces of strips that are already ironed to go in one of my quilts. But once they're ironed and starched, I wanted you guys to see this. These are some of my Afrocentric, some of my authentic African fabrics, and and I want to use them. I don't want to have to iron them again, so I keep them folded. I kept them put together. All of these. Some of these may actually be in that quilt, but you see how these are? Unbiased said I sent some fabrics to her. Those fabrics have been ironed 10 years. They were still starched. Big Rooster! Thanks for coming, dude. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Oh. You guys, I don't have my money dance loaded up. I have to get my money dance up here. So I'll just have to dance for you like this, Big Rooster. Big Rooster, Big Rooster, dance for you, dance for you. Silly Nana. I appreciate you. And all of those you said, don't put Big Rooster's jeans in there. Those were some of the best jeans. This, going back to the fabric in the box, is unbleached muslin. This box is marked. It says 2.5-inch strips. Remember, we talked about in the past jelly roll strips. Jelly roll strips are fabrics that are 2.5 inches wide, and they're cut the length of the fabric. Depending on what country the fabric was manufactured in, it was that they're different widths, going from like say 40 inches to 44 inches. This is unbleached muslin that I sometimes use between my strips. Unbiased says, thanks for supporting the channel. King Rooster. Darth X just in, working outside on the fall garden, and then your mom wanted a tour. Yeah, so she can show you what she's going to want. Big Roaster, I saw you with your new bowling ball. That thing is pretty. I don't know how many pounds it is, but she sure is cute, purty. She sure is purty. So these are some of the fabrics. You guys are going to vote because this quilt I showed you that I'm going to put a binding on, I'm going to make a piece binding, and I haven't decided which fabrics to use. I want to use some of the same colors that are in this quilt with the oranges and other. And these were fabrics came from everywhere in the world. Some of them came from Quilt Africa Fabrics. They're on Facebook's. I'll attach a link to them in the back. She has some of the most beautiful fabrics. This is a jelly roll. I couldn't find this box. I had it put up. I have several quilts to finish including up there, I still have 60 quilt tops that have to be finished. But these are hand cut jelly rolls. Miss Shirley she likes to watch fabrics and stuff. A lot of you guys do. So I will open this hand cut jelly roll, and you see why I don't buy them pre cut. Unbiased, she knows, she and I both love the same thing. She calls me Nanny because she's like my DNA granddaughter. She likes purple. I like purple. She likes animal print. I like animal print. Like I was saying earlier, I even have animal print Crocs. So look at these colors in the jelly roll. I'll try to show you a few at a time. These you would never find. Nobody will cut them. So I tried to cut 2 or 3 out of each fabric that I got. This one almost looks like some type of an animal print. This is Kente. I think I'll take this out because I think that's what I'm going to use on the binding for that quilt that I just showed you. And I knew I had Kente in here. And here's some more fabrics. Hi, Kenneth Wilkinson. Thank you for coming. This one, I remember this fabric is called Dancing in the Rain. This is another animal print, but it's like orange, and I just loved it. I just love touching fabrics. These are, but you see, even this, there's so many of the darker fabrics that I either use unbleached muslin to separate them, or either a jet Kona black. This is pretty. So what we're doing, you guys are helping me select the fabrics that I'm going to make the binding out of. And I know I'm going to need at least 8 pieces. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to find more. So you have a box full of fat quarters and clearance pieces. Miss Shirley, you need to get those out and get to work. Get to work. I love those fabrics. These are fabrics that are not in that legend quilt that I'm making, because these are special coordinated fabrics, and I like the you like the bright fabric colors. I like that on this one too, and I put Kona black around here to accentuate the colors, and even I'll show you what I'm talking about. Even before I put the black, I put a little bit of gold and black and a little bit of white. I know what I forgot to show you guys. The machine quilting on the back. Look at this. It's almost like a double-sided quilt. This is done in the titanium gray. I was going to put this titanium gray on the back of the denim quilt, but it kept breaking. So it has the tan on it. But yeah, so this whole quilt, this is what the back looks like. Isn't that pretty? These are leaves. That is leaves by the long armor. And I will fold it back. So then I have these little bits and pieces. Miss Shirley, you can cut blocks out of the fat quarters. Oh, here's enough, almost enough of the kente to make a binding, because these are cut to 2.5 inches. So I'm taking all of this kente cloth. GQUAT, do you have a quilt in the African American Museum in Detroit? I saw their exhibit once. No, I don't, Miss Shirley. I the quilts that I make, and I am going to donate. I was actually thinking about donating this quilt to the African American Museum in Washington, D.C., and then keeping, I have one in boutiques, and keeping that one for display on a traveling quilt, the traveling trunk quilt show that I have, that I put different pieces in different places. I haven't even submitted any of my quilts to the Connecticut State Fair. I will next year. So I think I have enough, you guys. I think, well, I don't think it, I know it. I have enough of this kente cloth, and then see the colors with all the bright colors. I mix them with strips of plain. Oh, Miss Shirley, that's why you like to see the different pieces of fabric. This one I really liked a lot with this orange. Sissy, I think you had this in one of your tablecloths. Hi, Janet. Thank you for coming, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Almost homesteading with Janet. Almost homesteading with Janet. Went to the post office today. I sent 2 boxes out, but yours isn't packed yet. Why? Because I added some more things to it. And like here's a bright orange. So when I make my piece borders and I have these, I'm just showing you part of my construction methods, you guys, and how I choose fabrics. These fabrics I keep for special occasions and special projects. Like this one was very dark, so I mix it with other bright fabrics, or like the unbleached muslin. But I think they've outgrown. This one is like all dark browns. So, did you guys like that? Or do you have any questions? Yours isn't packed either. You got more seeds you came across. That's funny. It's like you love the leaf pattern on the back, Barb Brownlee says. My mother's big denim quilt that I just sent to the long armor is one that the back of it is called a meandering star, and that's something that you guys can like memorize one type of a, just say one pattern, whether it's a meandering or whatever, and I will show you how. And you practice with a piece of paper or chalkboard or something. This was a number from a previous giveaway. We'll just ignore that. But so a meandering star goes like you start and you do a star, and then you meander around, you come back, you might go back this way, but you're doing this with a sewing machine needle. You're doing this with a sewing machine needle. And then anytime you get trapped in a corner, you can go around and just reverse and keep making loops. Or I saw Unbiased. Unbiased, I saw her doing something. Here's a pattern. It's not complicated, Janet. Or you can do what they call echo quilting. Say if this is a square, I should have had a thicker. You just keep following the outline like an echo and going around. And then you could, I made this one a little bit small, then you could just follow it back out again. So, or you can just do swirls. You go around. Now you're doing this with the sewing machine, and you make different swirls. Or what? Which one? Oh, this is the one I really wanted to show you guys. Unbiased. So they're called E's and L's. You have the ruler and you don't know how to use it. I will I have a couple of those rulers and I'll take them out. You can do E's and L's, E's and L's, and then you go around E's and L's, and then you go back around L's and E's, and you go up, and you just make stuff up. You just make it up. GQUAT. My house is a beautiful museum. Thank you. That's what people say that come here. But I just have raindrops on roses and whispers on kittens. These are a few of my favorite things. These are the things I love. It's a lot of stuff in here. It's too much. But these are the things that I still use. These are the things I still touch. These are the things I share with you guys. And the thing about the ruler unbiased, I well, text me or call me and show me which one, and we'll do it together. We'll do it together. Are there any more questions? And there's no wrong way. You see this, you guys? It was going fast because it's just a pen. If I'd had a felt tip pen, but you just make stuff up. You just make it up, and then when you find one you like, unbiased. Even the ruler that you have, just take a pen and make sure the ink isn't there, and just use your pen to trace along the lines, because what that will do, it cements your muscle memory. Like, when you started elementary school, those of you, does everybody here know how to write? What are they? Not calligraphy. I forgot, they don't teach the kids anymore. How do you sign your name if you can't, if all you can do is print? But you learn how you wrote your ABCs, like A, little a, B. It's like that with quilting and long arming. You're teaching your muscles how to make different things, and it gets into your brain, and then it's like you will almost automatically know what to do. I bet you when you brush your teeth the exact same way every day, whether you start in the back or start in the front, then go to one side, I bet you do it the same exact way. Dolores, how are you feeling? I hope you're feeling better. Your package went out today, Dolores. Who else? Oh, cursive. That's right. That's right. Mother, I sent you a package today, mommy, because I figured the gas to drive it there and the time it takes, you would get it faster if I put it in the mail. DKC Crafts LLC. Thank you for coming, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks each and every one of you. And Auntie Ellen, can you make those? Yes, Barb Brownlee. I only use my domestic machine now, and I use I have a couple embroidery feet. If you hold on one second, I'll hop on. Sorry, I don't have all the animated stuff up here, but hold on. You can look at some of my stuff in the background, but I'll show you some of my feet, some of my rulers. Excuse me, and thanks for waiting, you guys. No, I didn't just drop it. Okay, so this is, as you can see, one of my newer rulers because the ones for the long arm machine I sold when I sold my long arm machine. But this one I bought especially so that I can show you guys. It looks like waves, and I have an art quilt that I still have to quilt, and I will show you. You see this? I'll show you the foot in a minute. Just make sure that the ruler is thick enough so that you can follow it. GT Jr. grows in Alaska. Thank you for coming, and welcome, welcome, welcome. I used to teach long arm quilting as a member of the North Carolina Long Arm Quilting Association. I was first vice president for a lot of years. But I'm going to show you, those of you who have machines, those of you thinking about buying machines, the I still have a couple little machines left, but here are some rulers. I think Unbiased is talking about this pattern. You see where you go in here and you follow, you see how wide this is? So you could memorize this pattern and just keep doing it with your finger. But this one that I bought, I don't want to drop it. I'll take the foot out. It comes with a special hopping foot, or you can order one. This is a low shank machine, and you put this on by the little screw, and you see this little thingy? This was designed to fit inside this thing. So you're not worried about what the needle is doing because this little thing is outside the needle. So I got these just so that I could show you guys and so that I could get some of these smaller quilts. What you do with the longer quilts, you roll them up and you throw them over your shoulder. But I'll tell you, your shoulders and your neck get tired doing that. And you use gloves so that your hands don't slip. So here is another ruler. You see, it's like swirls. What you have to do is save a little budget, right? Whether it's $10 a month, $20 a month, quilting can be crazy expensive. It can be crazy expensive. Some of my friends in my former group, they put buildings on their property in North Carolina. One lady's husband resigned from Duke. They built like a garage on the property, and they put two $30,000 long arm machines out there. And all they did all day long was long arm quilting. My first quilt that I had professionally quilted, I paid over $1,000. 1,000 to get it quilted. I still have it. It's in my collection. But going back to the feet that you guys asked me about to use with these rulers, do you want me to take it out so that you can see it better? Because these are designed to use for a domestic machine. You see? And then you go up, and then you move it and turn it this way, turn it that way. You can turn it any way that you want to. You're the boss of it, and you can do anything that you want. Or you let the piece talk to you. This is one of my hand-drawn squiggles. They call them puzzle pieces. Or the real word is meandering. But you see where I started up here? And then I just went around and around and around. You see that? And you just memorize it. And even if you don't do it the same way, nobody cares. Nobody cares. All they want is for the quilt to have pretty colors on it, and nothing else matters. What is this? Oh, this is a magnetic seam guide. I have it here. I don't really use it, but sometimes I give classes. I teach others how to sew. Mike says it's hypnotic. Mike, I have several male friends who quilt. I have several female friends who are married to men who quilt. And guess what? A couple of the guys are better quilters than they are. DKC Craft says, hello, Joanne. For those of you who don't know, my sister Joanne Stevens is an amazing sewist. Did I freeze? Or did who freeze? I don't think I'm frozen. But for those of you who have a heavy duty machine, I buy lots of needles because you want to keep your needles sharp. Your stream is lagging, I'm biased. That's okay. I think it might be something to do with Restream or whatever. But you see these? These are heavy duty needles that I use for the denim. These are 100/16. And when you're long arm quilting, it will put holes in the fabric. But when you wash them, they shrivel up, especially if you put them in the dryer. Put them on low heat or preferably put them outside. Now, this is a foot that I use a lot. Can you see this? It's an open embroidery foot, but it won't fit in. I know it won't fit in that little thingy. Unbiased. You see this one? This is probably one like the one that you said that you have. But I have, and all these are for the domestic machine, you guys. Oh, these are buttonholers. I think I have yet another one. So I buy things when they're on sale. Schmetz is a good brand of needle. And it says jean denim needle. I also have special needles that I get for my embroidery machine. Special needles for knits. These Schmetz needles and titanium. Thanks for watching the ads, you guys. Unbiased says yours won't fit the ruler, it's too big. They have this is the one I'm looking for. This is a smaller one. This is a smaller one. But you know what I wanted to tell you, Unbiased? I see people in other countries, right? They take they take every foot off. They don't use any of the feet. They just use the bare needle and just the bare needle. Now you can't put your hands up under there. You got to keep your hands to the sides, but they will use the bare needle and a regular embroidery hoop like the little round ones you used to see your grandmother or other people using. All these little tools, you guys, I keep in the domestic machine. I bought this little heavy duty singer just for doing the jeans, and I have a heavy duty one in the corner that you guys haven't seen because I couldn't. I didn't don't have it set up to photograph in there. It's a heavy duty vintage industrial machine that belonged to my grandmother, and my mother gave it to me when I moved in this apartment. And it takes two men to move that one as well. By the way, you guys, those of you who have bought this machine, her name is Taylor. and I bought her. I keep a little birth certificate of everything on my machine. This one was delivered December 29th, 2023. I purchased it on Amazon. Heavy duty machine. It's 10 inches by 15. And I keep the serial number down. If you have to call the company, whatever, register it. Even if you have an older machine, these are John James straw hand needles. That's what I use when I'm sewing bindings on, you guys. And I sew my bindings on, like for my show quilts, I sew them on, but I sew them from the front, flip them over to the back, and hand sew them so that the it's invisible stitching. This is just a little something if I want to see how many inches something is. These are old. I think Unbiased asked me about these. These are for metal, using threads with metal in it. Even more heavy duty needles. So, do you guys have any other questions? And I keep this bag and the rulers. I have bags of bags. Schlepper. Schlepper is a Yiddish word. It's Jewish. I learned it as a little kid growing up in Stamford, Connecticut, because some of my friends used to call me Schlepper. I always had a bag. Like my maternal grandmother, she always had bags of stuff, bags of snacks for us six kids, and the most muscly legs. She was from Pennsylvania and used to walking up and down those mountains, and I am the original schlepper. My bags have bags. So, are there any more questions, you guys? Oh, wait, don't forget to put your exclamation mark GQUAT to drop your channel, and I will speed this up a little bit faster, but I didn't want to miss your comments. Sometimes, like, Yankee Sister will call me back. Oh, and by the way, Maria Graham, you guys, isn't here as a moderator today because she had a doctor's appointment. She had some problems with her eyes. You know what I would like to also show you guys, as those of you who don't sew with sewing machines, how to hand piece and make quilts. I can make a quilt just as easily by hand. You know, one of the simpler block quilts, maybe not some like this one with all these. You need to take time and tag your 6 to 7 machines, including the inherited ones. Yes, Barb Brownlee, if you email me, I'll give you any of you who want, I'll give you a template of a register that I have. I used to have 35 sewing machines, and when I did, I had all the serial numbers, the type it was, machine it was, the manufacturer. Hey, famous! Thanks for coming in, Rooted in Essential Oils. I've been seeing you driving and giving you thumbs up on the TV, but I haven't been able to get back. So, and I know Famous likes fabrics. I hope that you will make a quilt for your son. You can make an easy quilt. You don't have to make a fancy quilt. You guys, I'm making my 2 great granddaughters just rag quilts. Just rag quilts for Christmas. This one is Simone's. It's only going to be 2 colors, pink and purple. And she has a 4-year-old, and I put flannel on the inside of hers just so that it would all be soft in her new apartment. She's so cute. She came in she came in here a couple weeks ago to pick up some things, that some housewarming gifts from her nana, and she said, she's looking around, she goes, "Nana, you have to make me a quilt." What kids ask their great grandmother, for something by saying, "Nana, you have to." I said, "Simone, I already know. Yours is already started. It's in a box over there. Sydney's is in a box over there. You love fabric. You really want to learn how. Well, email me, you guys. I can do online classes on Zoom. I can do set aside. I try to set aside time here, and I can show you how to sew blocks. I know what. You guys, excuse me. I'm going to pop up one more minute because just like just like I cut the 2.5 inch thing, I cut squares. I cut squares. These are 6.5 inch squares, and and I don't do them all at the same time. If I iron them, I don't cut them. And I do other things. These are like some 5 inch blocks in African fabrics because I make bags out of a lot of these. So I had these cut to make something. The totes that I make, like you saw some of them in denim, the strip quilts that I showed you I was making earlier, I have ironed and cut the unbleached muslin. I have a little secret though. I don't have a lot of space in my apartment. I have limited space. There's a community room downstairs. I can go to the library and take a cutting board and some other stuff and use one of the rooms. But this is already 6.5 inch blocks that are cut, and this is what I use to make this. The, it's four of these, and I put a diagonal line on it, and then I sew two pieces in the middle, and I flip and sew, and go back. These are ready for my next project because I buy the wide muslin, and you can buy unbleached muslin that is so thin it's like cheesecloth. Don't buy that one. Buy the unbleached muslin. This is premium unbleached muslin. It's well worth it. It feels like the good fabric, and you can mix it with your batiks, your African fabrics when you need something light to separate them. This is a shirt quilt that is already cut out. One of my friends who was in the in the clothing business gave me several pieces of fabrics that were made like shirts. This is all shirting fabric, like the Ralph Lauren shirts, like the Tommy Hilfiger shirts, the shirts with the fancy things on them. This is the fabric that they made, but I've already cut them in 6.5 inch blocks because now this is interesting because there are so many different colors of would be shirts. And I would probably combine this, why I had the unbleached muslin in here, with this, with these like one block of each or half square triangles. I'm going kind of fast. Give the camera to see all these, what would be different colors, men's shirts, women's shirts, whatever. And I cut them and put them in a bag for whenever I have a project. Oh, and this one, Sissy, this will make you laugh. There's no such thing as ugly fabric. You just didn't cut it small enough. I found some more squares of that ugly frog fabric. Mike's Chaotic Gardening. I thought that when I sent you that fabric postcard with that little frog that I hand cut out, I thought that was the last frog on earth from this fabric. But I don't throw anything away. I see I had cut some 6.5 inch squares and some of these old fashioned looking ugly fabric. And what was I gonna do with this? Make a table runner out of it. Make a table runner out of it. I think it would be cute on a table for Thanksgiving or Christmas or something. So I'm just trying to give you guys some ideas. Why? Because you still have time to make things for Christmas. Sister Shirley. Oh, Miss Shirley OG is going live tonight at 7. Odom's is going live, I think, at 8 or 9 this evening. So, you guys, please go over and give them a holler. Since I try to get back, but it's already past my bedtime, my nap time. I went to the post office today, went to the drugstore, all over Walmart, all over Walmart. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, Yankee Sister sent me some also sent me some strawberry plants. They're still outside. Mike said his is the most special frog. Oh, you guys make me laugh. You're welcome, Miss Shirley. I love you guys. So I want to encourage each of you to do what you love what you do. We will be doing more painting. I would like to invite some of you up. I would like to invite some of you up to sew, some of you up to paint. I'm just looking over there because I took a painting out where I have one more thing to show you. A painting. One more thing to show you. And you know how you clean your brushes and you save the canvas? I want to show you what I did. I even made the frame for it. And yes, I'm a busybody. I love staying home doing my art. So this, can you see this? This is nothing but paint, leftover paint on my brushes. Adios, Yankee Sister. This was leftover paint, and I put a parakeet on it. How cool is that? I have to show 755 Media. I forgot about it because it was on the wall in my bedroom. So, everybody, good night. Peace, love, and blessings. Ego Amote. Ego Amate, mother. I, an American Sign Language. L, you. I love you. Thanks for coming. I'll see you Saturday, 6 p.m., right here